Hey friends, it's Raquel, and today welcome to our cafecito chat. I'm gonna spread some cafecito wisdom and also just spend some time talking about that goal setting again. I know it's like a broken record or a scratch CD over and over and over telling you about those goals. And I'm gonna tell you why. Because at around this time every year, people that have made those tired old resolutions in January have done quit. They have thrown in the towel. They have said, we're done with the goals that we set or the resolutions that we set at the beginning of the year. But you and I are going to be different this year because we are setting SMART goals with Sazon. And so I want you to do the best that you can. Give yourself a fighting chance. Don't give up, not today. But first, let's talk about what I'm absolutely loving lately. Have you guys tried the Starbucks cortado? I'm a dairy-free person, so I've tried the oat milk and brown sugar cortado, and oh my gosh, it is so delicious. You have to like coffee because it has ristretto shots in it, and if you don't know anything about ristretto shots, let me school you a little bit. They are concentrated shots, so it's the same amount of espresso as a regular pulled shot that you would have in your latte, but it's less water, like half the water. And so they're pretty concentrated, so that little tiny short cortado has 3 shots of ristretto in it and just a little bit of milk. And so it's delicious, but you have to like the taste of coffee. And if you're like me and you have super large coffee in the morning and then need a pick-me-up in the afternoon, it's the perfect pick-me-up, especially when it's cold and snowy and rainy and all the things outside. We are in the middle of winter, by all means. So that is something that I'm loving lately and is truly saving my life. And then you guys know that I'm gluten-free. So I want to turn you on to something amazing. Have you guys seen these? They're at Walmart. They are from the Siete family and they are grain-free Mexican wedding cookies. They are delicious. Now, you know, you can't eat a lot of them because just 4 of them will cost you about 150 calories, and it is a lot of sugar. But if you're in the mood for a little treat and you are in the gluten-free space like I am, these are definitely a must-try. The Siete story is amazing, and the Siete family, I'm telling you, they make really good stuff, and I'm so happy to see that our local Walmart is carrying them. Kudos to Walmart. Kudos to Starbucks for making a phenomenal drink. And if you will look at the comments in this video, I will tell you how to make your cortado at home. I'll put a recipe in the notes there at the bottom so that if you are a budget conscious girly and you said one of my big goals this year is for me to save money and to not spend it on coffee at any in any given moment, and you're trying to do this at home, I'm going to give you a recipe for how you can do it with some instant espresso. So that's going to be in the comments. All right, on to the important stuff today. In January, again, a lot of people talk about their resolutions, and we need to ditch those because by this time every year, people have already ditched the resolutions. They've thrown them out the window. Whatever it was that they said they were going to change this year, it got too hard, and many have abandoned those resolutions. That's why we are planning our SMART goals or doing our SMART goals with some Sazon. We are adding that to our goal setting because it's very important for us to put all the effort that we can into our goal practice, our goal setting, and our goal accomplishing, whichever way you're doing it. If you're doing it the 12-week year, if you're doing your goals by quarter, if you're doing your annual goals, whatever works for you. And if that's what you're doing, I want to give you methods for you to stick to those goals. I used to work for this big corporation, and we used to have to set SMART goals. We would have to set them for the year, which was very tricky because we would set them for an entire year. But there's inevitably things that would change in our organizations. There was people that would come, people that would go, managers that would change. And so those goals were never adjusted throughout the year. And so unless you were really being intentional about refiguring your goals with every change, then every year you would just have to answer to those goals that you set in the beginning of the year that now are probably pretty irrelevant. That's the reason why I like to break mine up either in the 12-week year or in quarters. This year I'm doing quarters. I had initially thought I was going to do the 12-week year, and I am incorporating some things and practices from the 12-week year book, but I am using the quarter time tracker. And so that's one of the things that you want to do when you do SMART goals is you want to make specific goals. You want to make them measurable. You want to make them achievable. You want to make them relevant and of course time bound. And so we have to have that accountability in there somewhere. And that's the way that I'm wanting to track it, is in quarters this year. And so I'm doing that for my business. I'm doing that in my career, and I'm also doing that in my personal life. That's a whole lot of goals. And so we have to keep those things tracked some way, somehow. And so whether you're tracking those by checking in on a weekly basis, if you're tracking those by with a physical tracker, if you're tracking those in a digital tracker, great. Whatever way that you're tracking your goals is the right way for you, as long as you are tracking. That's the key. You have to be tracking because you need to be accountable. Number one, to yourself, but if you can get somebody to keep you accountable and to do a check-in with you every quarter, every month, even better. But at least you have to be meeting with yourself once a week to see where you are on those goal setting, on your goal setting and on your goals, how you're keeping up with those things. One of the ones for me was meal planning, and many of you saw whenever I showed you my see, I have my vision board right there, just front and center so that I can see it every time I open my iPad. And one of those is meal planning. And of course, maybe you think that's just like, oh, that's super easy peasy. You just do it every week. Well, it is and it isn't, especially if you're not used to it. And so one of the things that I found that was necessary was for us to be able to know why I'm setting this specific goal. I didn't want to just set it because, I want to lose the weight, and so I'm going to have to meal plan. So that's the best thing that I'm supposed to do in order for me to lose the weight. I really need to drill down and know why. So one of the ways that you can do that, and I'm going to show you this really quick and easy method for you to do it. You can do it digitally. You can do it on a piece of paper. So we're going to go old school. We're going to go really simple and analog, and I'm going to show you how to break down a goal on a piece of paper. All right, so hopefully you're tracking. Here I'm going to show you. This is exactly how you can utilize this method. What are you gonna do? You're gonna list what your goal is. And so mine was meal planning. Why do I want to meal plan? What is this gonna do for me? Well, it's one less thing for me to have to think about. And what is that gonna do for me? Well, it's gonna bring me peace of mind. And what is that gonna do for me? Well, it's gonna help me to control my calorie intake. And what is reducing my calorie intake going to do for me? Well, it's going to lead me to weight loss. Take a look at that. It's going to give me peace of mind, and it's going to help me control my weight, especially if you're like me and what you're worried about is having some of this middle-aged weight gain. So why is this important to me? Because I want to have peace of mind. I want to have one less thing to think about. And I also want to control my weight during the stage of life that I'm in. So this is the reason why it's important for you to drill down your goal all the way down to your why. Because then when you get tired and when you're just like, why am I doing this every Sunday? Why am I taking the time to meal plan and to do this, eat this food over and over every day? Because this is what I'm trying to get to. I am trying to maintain my weight or lose weight. I'm trying to have peace of mind so that on a very busy Wednesday, I don't have to think about what I'm going to eat for lunch because my former self has already thought about me for me on Wednesday. And it gives me peace of mind. So this is the way that we can keep our goals on track. This is the way that we can keep ourselves on track. And this is the way that we can create those SMART goals, specific goals, measurable goals, attainable goals, very, what is the last one? Relevant goals to my stage of life, and also time bound. I want to be able to do this and track myself for the next 3 months to see if this is something that I can adopt as a way of life. It's not because it's trendy. It's not because some professional influencer somewhere told me to do it, but it's because that's the stage of life that I'm in, and this is going to move the needle for me. So whatever way that you're tracking your SMART goals, whatever way that you're drilling them down and finding out your why is the right way. But if this method can help you today, I want to do that. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being with my here. If you're still here after my technical snafus, thank you so much for it. Have a wonderful day. Keep at it. Don't give up. And we'll see you next week. Thanks. Bye.